All right, so this last example that I'm going to work is going to be where I use the calculator. Um, I read the problem. An industrial company claims that the mean, um, so the mean pH level of the water in a nearby river is 6.8. So the mean is 6.8. Since that contains equality, we label that as the null hypothesis. The opposite of being 6.8 is not being 6.8. So that does not contain equality. So that is the alternative hypothesis. Since it is not equal to, we're going to have, this is going to be a two-tail test. And just go through here and read the information. Random selection. It is random. It's 39. 39 is a number greater than 30, so you don't have to worry about if it's a normal distribution or not. The sample mean, so this is the sample mean and the sample standard deviation. The sample mean is, so since it's the sample standard deviation, we know we're doing a t-test. Okay, so the sample mean is 6.7 and the sample standard deviation is 0.35. And they give us an alpha of 0.05. So our picture is going to look like this. It's going to be a two-tail test where on each side we have not alpha, but half of alpha. So 0.05 divided by 2 is 0.025. 0.025. So you have to use your t-table, and I don't think I've opened that yet. So let me get my t-table open real quick. Let's see, I think T is in chapter 6. And I need to, I'm doing a two-tail test. And the two-tail test that they gave me was 0.05. No, when we use this two-tail column right here, you don't have to worry about taking half of it and looking for that. They will take half of it when they start looking, when they give us this number down here. So you don't have to worry about, just take the alpha that's given. And let's see, our sample size was 39. So our degrees of freedom should be 38. I hope that's on the, there it is, 38. Okay, so 38 is on there. I don't remember which column it was. It is two-tail test 0.05. So it's the third column. And go down to 38. So it's this one right here. So there is the critical value, 2.024. Now remember, you'll have two of them, negative 2.024 and positive 2.024. So when you go over here, it's negative 2.024 and positive 2.024. That's a 4, not a 9. Okay, so those are the critical values. I'm going to use the calculator now to find the rest of it. The calculator, it is going to be a test. So you do stats and you go over to test, and this is a t-test. So you choose option number 2. It's just like before, we are going to use statistics. We don't have a list of data. So you just put in the information. This is 6.8. and the sample mean is 6.7, and the sample standard deviation is 0.35, and the sample size, sorry, I'm having stupid issues. The sample size is 0.35. No, that was not the sample size. That sample size is 39. The alternative is not equal to, so I'm going to leave that one highlighted and I'm going to calculate. And it gives me a p-value, and it also gives me a t-value. Now, the t-value that it gives me, I am going to change the t-value that it gives me. I don't know why that's not red. The t-value that it's giving me is -1. This is what I'm looking at right here. -1.78. -1.78. That's our test statistic. So when I go over here, -1.78 is going to be on this side of that -2.4. There's my test statistic. It is not in the shaded region. So since it is not in the rejection region, which is the shaded section right here, we are going to fail to reject H sub O. And since we fail to reject H sub O, we'll have to look up on the little chart to see what our sentence is. But I also want to do the test where we compare P and alpha. Okay, when we compare P and alpha, alpha was 0.05, and our p-value, when you look at this, is 0.08. 0.08. 0.08 is bigger than 0.05. So I think according to our notes up here at the top, when P is bigger, you fail to reject the null. So we also, and when we compare this one, fail to reject. Again, remember, these two should always produce the same outcome. And you don't typically have to do both of them. You need to do one or the other. And when you start taking the test, you'll need to be able to read and see what it wants. Some of the test questions are going to want just one way, and it doesn't care which way you do it. You get to pick. Some test questions are going to say, find the p-value, do the p-test. And then some of them are going to say, be sure you show me the rejection region. So you're going to have to use this is the P alpha method, and this is the rejection region method. So they should result in different answers. All right, so now we've got to come up with our sentence, okay? The first thing you got to do is make sure you know what your claim is. Your claim is the null, and we failed to reject the null. Okay, so we're going to go back up here. Your claim is the null. So the claim is the null. So this is the column that we're looking in, and we failed to reject. So this is your sentence. There is not enough evidence to reject. Okay, so we're going to say there is not enough evidence at the 5% significance level to reject the claim that the average pH level in the river is 6.8. Okay, so that's how you use the calculator. What did we do again? We went stat, we went over to test, we chose t-test, which is option number 2. Be sure you choose statistics, and we always will. I don't think, maybe in your homework they give you data. I don't remember, but on the test, and I know that you're always going to do statistics. You put in the information and you just go calculate. And once you get it calculated, then you have your two things. Your test statistic is right there, and your p-value. Those are the two pieces of information that you need. Okay, so the rest of the 3 examples, I'm just going to put a paper copy on Blackboard.